Hey everybody, Arthur here with another figure review, and today we have Marvel Legends Ant-Man, and it is from the MCU universe, and as you can see, he is in his ant form. I don't know why. I mean, I got this from Nathan Simmons, and aka Syndicate Santa Claus. Thank you, Nathan. And you could see I guess Nathan accidentally hit the button on his belt to make him go into his little ant size. So, I mean, what I'm going to have to do, like I had this little, screwdriver that you had where you actually used to work on, like, watches and stuff. But, I mean, we got to hit that little button on there because I can't review this tiny figure without actually getting them big. So, give me a second here. And just like that, I mean, we got them full size. Let's stand them up here for a second. Beautiful looking figure. And I'm glad to have him because, as you can probably see a little bit in the background right there, you got the big giant man version of himself. And he does come with some accessories. I was sort of messing with you guys with one of them, and that is the very, very tiny, small version of himself. Right there. Really good painted on detail and sculpt for what it is. Definitely really cool. Reminds me of a lot of retro figures like Mighty Max, and there's some other miniature little figures you used to get. And he does come with good old Anthony. I mean, you cannot have Ant-Man without an ant, and especially Anthony. I mean, he was a big role in the first Ant-Man movie. The wings are casted in like a gold plastic. They don't seem to be articulated. I don't want to break them, but definitely no articulation. But I mean, he is an ant. It's just casted in black plastic. Pretty cool accessory, if you ask me, and some decent detail. It sort of reminds me of like the bugs you'd pick up at like a dollar store that come in the big bags of variety of bugs. But this one's definitely Anthony, and Ant-Man just sort of props on like so he could be flying around on his little carpenter ant buddy. So very cool. And there's another accessory. You can't have a mini Ant-Man without a mini Yellow Jacket. And this guy looks pretty awesome. He's got the nice yellow. He's got his little bionic legs all shooting out. So you can get some really cool poses and stuff. And in fact, I mean, you can have your 6-inch figures hold these guys as if they're action figures themselves. So if I wanted Ant-Man here to be like, hey, I got myself the new... Let's see if I can get it in there. There we go. Hey man, I just got the new Marvel Legends Build-A-Figure Yellow Jacket right here, I mean, it's pretty awesome that you could do that. But let's dive into the figure itself, as he did come with some really cool accessories. His head sculpt, and looks great for what it is. The mouthpiece is actually down, and you can actually see his little lips in there. And again, this is way before they started doing that realistic face scans and all that stuff. But I love how the eyes look. I wish they were sort of the translucent like they did on the Giant Man, but it might be just too small of a figure. And I just love the rough, like the dry brushing and the silver. Like, it isn't a perfectly clean and perfect helmet on this figure, and the detail is insane. But the fact that, I mean, it wouldn't be perfectly chrome and looking perfect because, I mean, he's constantly shrinking, changing his size, running into like ant holes and dirt and dust and bathtubs and pipes and whatever else he can get into. So I would assume that it definitely would not be a perfect like Iron Man suit, basically. Head articulation, he can look down quite a bit, and he can look up. But the back of the helmet right there does clip onto these little hoses and stuff that are back there, which Again, added on extra sculpting work, looks great. Like the whole neck and everything looks spectacular. I love the suit. I mean, the red on some of this, you got some overspray, not enough red on the shoulder. You know, it's one of the issues with this figure particularly. The paint's not 100% perfect. So his arms do go up that far. Bicep swivel. Got the texture going through. Double jointed elbow. Wrist rotation and bend. And then he's got this little like gauntlet thing. It's on both arms. And again, you can see that the red is not on there thick enough. But it's all right. Again, I don't expect a perfect Iron Man, you know, suit. Then we get down to the abs. And he can ab crunch. Not really. And back crunch. Not really. A little bit, but this part actually hits this silver line right there, and I don't want to damage that. And then going down, again, it's just not much ab crunch going on. He does have a separate belt here. You can see it moving around. Waist swivel, which the belt hides the bookshelf part of his hips. And what's weird is like this part right here, as it just looked very inappropriate. I'm like, this part right here, no, it's like a weird, different type of plastic. It's almost like a McDonald's toy glossy plastic. It's weird. And you can really see the difference. Like, it's just different type of plastic they used. And, but the belt, back to the belt, looks great. Dry brushed, awesome. The little red dot in the center. As for splits, you can go that far. You could definitely do a Spartan kick and even a little bit higher than a Spartan kick. Does have that thigh swivel, but what does that do? It breaks up the design and it looks like poo-poo. And then you get the double jointed knee, ankle bend, and pivot. Like your typical Marvel Legends style articulation, but I love the little armor on his shins and stuff. I really like this figure is what I'm getting down to. Like, for the issues with the little flaws in the paint and stuff like that, and his ab crunch, still a solid figure. And if you're going to do the growing Ant-Man, you gotta have this figure. And I do have the latest Ant-Man from the Avengers Infinity War Wave 2, which will look awesome with this one as well. And I'll do a major comparison once I do that review. Ant-Man all posed up like he's just starting to book it. And, you know, when he starts running stuff, he usually will slap that button and shrink down and all that. But he does pose very well, as you can see. He's on really his tippy toe there, and he's flat-footed on that one and balanced out very nicely. It does, again, take some little work. Because as you can see, if I move him, he wants to fall. So you got to do a little bit of that finagling while you're posing to get him into that pose that he won't fall. So, I mean, you just got to keep playing with your figures. And again, I mean, you can't play with them unless you open them. I mean, what's the point of having figures and packaging? Then the plastic gets all weird and gooey and stuff. It's just like, come on, open them up. Play with them, you know? Play with them. You know, like, be like, play with us. Play with us. But either way, that's enough of me being weird. This sums up my review of the first Marvel Legends MCU universe. Wow, I just said the MCU universe when MCU is Marvel Cinematic Universe. Either way, this sums up my review of this Ant-Man. Thank you, Nate Simmons, for sending it. I'm glad I have it in my collection. And if you guys like what you saw, hit that thumbs up. Subscribe if you're new to my channel. And don't forget to hit that bell notification, because that's how you know when I post up new videos. But as always, I want you guys to have the best luck hunting. Keep on collecting and have a wonderful day.